Will the Higurashi remake be any good? That's the question I hope to try and answer for you guys today. To do this, I'm going to be looking at the studio, director, and trailers of the show to see if we can really expect something greater than the originals. Let's get right into it. If there's anyone watching this that doesn't know what Higurashi is, I'll quickly explain. Higurashi no Koro ni is a set of 8 sound novels, a term coined by the developers 07th Expansion to help get people to play their game, but it is essentially just a visual novel that focuses more on the audio aspect of the game to set the tone. The first chapter was released way back in 2002. Later it had manga adaptations and an anime adaptation of the question arcs in 2006. The answer arcs and side stories coming out later. Higurashi is a horror mystery anime done perfectly. It constantly has you thinking and trying to figure out what's true and what isn't. Overall, in my opinion, it's one of the greatest literary masterpieces around. But for the upcoming season, it's going to get a remake. I'm going to try and see whether it'll be better to just watch the old one or to start this one. To start, we know that it's just titled the Higurashi no Koro ni, which means that it is probably just the questions arc, since the original question arc anime was titled the exact same thing, with the answer arc being titled Higurashi no Koro ni Kai. All we currently know about the show is that it's going to be receiving over 14 episodes and going into the winter season. The original question arc series was 26 episodes long, so the remake should probably be at least 26 episodes. It's being developed by the anime studio Passione. Some notable works by them are Citrus, Wasteful Days of High School Girls, High School DxD Hero, and Interspecies Reviewers. These are all good shows and all, but there's a common theme. They have no horror aspects. Actually, out of Passione's list of all the shows they've done, they don't have a single horror show in there. But who knows, maybe they'll do really good at the horror aspect, since we've never seen them do one before. Everybody has their first times. Next, I'd like to talk about the director of the show, Keiichiro Kawaguchi. He's directed a good lot of shows, but majority of them are slice-of-life type stuff like Nyan Koi or Meochiki, and he has some shonen action shows dropped in there too. This is also pretty worrying to me because now neither the studio or the director has ever done any type of horror. I understand that slice of life is a very important part of Higurashi and the aesthetic of the show, but the horror part is just as important, if not more. Two first is not necessarily a good thing. Finally, all that's left is to look at the trailers, and I honestly think they look pretty good. I find the new character design to be more cutesy and childish, which could enhance or ruin the viewing experience. It really depends on how well the change from happy to horror is. So far what I've seen of the horror scenes is pretty good, but not as good as the original. I personally think this is because of the new style, or they just have people not used to horror working on it. The scene where Rena's just holding the knife and standing as the wind blows against her hair is shown in the trailer and in the original show, and I think this looks really good in the new one. But on the other hand, in the trailer they show the scene where Mion has a crazy face, and I don't think this is done as well as the original, mainly because of the cutesy art style. I think it makes the transition hard from extra cute to extra creepy, and that was what was so perfect about the original, is how well that transition was. In the end, even though it's a first time for the studio and the director, I have faith that they'll be able to pull it off just by what the trailers show. The trailers ended up looking really good to me, and I just can't wait to watch it again. Even if it ends up being pretty bad, I'm probably still going to watch it, and I think you guys should too. I would recommend that any newcomers do decide to watch the original first instead of this one, just so that you don't get a negative experience with the series in case it is a fail, because the story is so good, and if they were to ruin it, that'd be such a waste. Regardless of studio or director, if they just use the correct story and don't add in any unnecessary stuff, the show will still be perfect in all ways. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you take nothing else away from this, at least go watch Higurashi. It's seriously good. And if you don't want me to put needles in your mochi, then you should probably like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't, you should go check out our other videos. Bye!